Swachhta, cleanliness, really was a very, very dominant idea in Gandhi's life. Cleanliness in thought, action, deed, and in punctuality, cleanliness in food. He was very, very particular about using the local unpalatable neem sometimes and ragi, whatever is healthy food he needed to eat, and whatever was healthy practice he needed to carry it on. And he kept telling people it is not necessary to use soap or anything like that, but it is very necessary to scrub yourself clean while you are having a bath. Even if you're just pouring water over yourself, scrub yourself clean. Take a small pumice stone or something like that and scrub yourself clean, because you need to get rid of, exfoliate your dead skin and make your body clean. This governed his everyday action. The innumerable letters that he answered, even women asking him about menstruation, menopause. He was dealing with simple questions about cooking, keeping the kitchen clean, and nothing ever was unimportant, that he had to answer every one of those questions. And this is what made him the cleanliness champion of the world. And that meant being clean in everything one did. Punctual, keeping accounts, being clean in balance sheet, doing everything in a manner that is transparent. The way he saved money, to be totally clean in whatever amount that he was given, all those accounts were declared. Every paise that he collected was accounted for. He was obsessed with cleanliness. He was clean to the point of uh, making everybody wonder around him. Once, while walking in the salt satyagraha, suddenly Gandhi was missing. Where is Mahatma? Where is Mahatma Gandhi? They looked around for him, and he came a little late. And people asked him, "What happened, Bapu?" He said he had gone to relieve himself behind the tree in the wilderness, and he looked for loose soil to cover the solid waste. So they said, "Bapu, after all, you were in the wilderness. Where was the need to cover it?" He said, "Should you not be kind to the animals and the birds and spare them the smell? I wanted cleanliness there. So I wanted to cover the soil and I wanted to help Mother Earth decompose it in a quicker manner, you know, earlier, make it easy for her." These kind of little anecdotes that kept coming in every other day of Mahatma Gandhi's life is something that tells us that cleanliness was an obsession with him. So he said we don't need to feel ashamed of cleaning the place where we defile. We are cleaning the place where we eat and cook, but we don't clean the place where we defecate. It does not have to be based on the caste that you are born into. If you are defecating it, you must clean it. Swachhata is cleanliness, and not only in terms of cleaning the place. The controversial act that when a calf was very ill, he took the decision to end its life with an injection. He said the calf was suffering too much, and he faced a lot of flack for it, and people criticized him over it. But he said, "I am doing a clean thing for the animal. I was saving its misery of pain for it." So every act of his was informed by kindness towards others. And even if that kindness was bitter pill many times, that the ashramites found it very difficult, he was there to enforce it and to follow it himself, because Gandhi said, whatever you may say, burn all the things that I have written, just see what I have lived. When he was urged to go to Champaran in 1917 to look at the plight of the indigo farmers who had to go grow indigo on the compulsion of the British rulers, he looked more at the situation that the farmers were living in. He said, how can they live in such unhygienic conditions? Because even helplessness, accepting such indignity, is also living in unclean surroundings. So he said, you must not accept that unclean living. You must live in hygienic surroundings and hygienic ways. So he started school. He started a school where he brought Kripalani. He brought his wife, who protested that she did not know the language of the region. But he said, no, let's look at helping them live hygienic lives. So he wanted his wife to talk to the women and look at the way they were cooking food, make it more hygienic, more healthy, more nutritious. These are the things he said a school must teach. First, to children, being clean, clean in food habits, clean in surroundings, clean in the way you are, and you don't need expensive things to be clean. And then during Champaran time, one day he needed to consult some legal luminaries in Madras regarding the case. So he travels from Ahmedabad to Ranchi by train, a third class train, and via Madras. So he goes from the western city of Ahmedabad and comes to Madras, the southeastern city of Madras, and then the northern city of Ranchi. And he takes a train, and you can imagine it was a steam engine those days, the slowness of the train, and the third class compartment that he was traveling in. And he just comes to Madras for one single day to talk to legal luminaries and reach Champaran to continue his legal arguments. So these are the kind of cleanly life that he led. In Champaran, he invites all the lawyers who knew the local dialect of Hindi to go to every household and do a survey about the way they are living, about the indignities that have been caused to them, and ways of mitigating those rather than the political freedom that one should get. The Champaran experiment was a very, very important and defining moment in cleanliness for India in Mahatma Gandhi's life. And so cleanliness became the flagship of his continuous work in social sector, because for him politics and social were not two different things. Politics, social and personal were all the same. So he needed to be clean by being transparent. This was his creed and practice in everyday life.